When I saw the Penguin, I was looking at your various incarnations of this character, what she goes through and everything, and I can say you're genuinely a character actor at heart.
Thank you. I really like that. That's always been my dream, and I think that the actors that I was drawn to growing up were given opportunities to sort of like shapeshift a little bit, and as much as I can get to do that, I really like it.
I trusted you. I loved you. And yet not one of you tried to help me. Except for my brother, the man you all flew in to mourn. And you know, the real thorn in my side is that unlike everyone here, I was innocent.
Welcome to the actor's side. Today, she is an Emmy nominee, Primetime Emmy nominee, as well as Critics' Choice Award winner, and so many other things for this, SAG, you name it, in the Penguin. And let me just tell you, she really sports a yellow dress with a gas mask and a gun like nobody I've ever seen. This is Cristin Milioti.
Thank you.
I really like your choice of outfits in the Penguin.
Thank you. I love them too.
Props to the costume.
Helen Huang, she's amazing.
Yeah. But that one.
Yeah, is incredible. Her and I got so excited because we knew it was just such an incredible Batman villain look.
Yeah.
That we did so many hundreds of fittings, it felt like, for that dress, and it all worked out
It was amazing.
really well.
First of all, that particular episode was so cool because it comes sort of in the middle of the show, like episode 4.
Yeah.
But it really gives the background for your character.
Yeah.
It is your episode.
Yeah.
Jen.
Obviously, it to say that it offers context is like an understatement, but it really, gets you on her side.
Well, completely. And I know she does vile things.
Yeah.
And she is definitely a Batman villain.
Yeah.
But I was rooting for you. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I know. I think that's the sort of I also think those are our best villains.
Yeah.
When you understand where they're coming from and why they're doing what they're doing.
Like Joker,
Totally. Well,
Joaquin Phoenix played that.
Right. That's one of the magic tricks of our show, and also part of Lauren LaFranc's brilliance, our showrunner, is that she's able to do that.
It's so important when you're playing this kind of character not to make it one-dimensional. And in this particular episode, you got to run the gamut from being a young kid, seeing a mother hanging there. You really do, throughout it, understand how her family screwed her over big time.
Yeah.
And, her choices after that may not be right, but I understood who she was.
Yeah. And yes, they may not be right, but they do feel maybe, I don't want to say justified, but obviously I love her and understand her and and Team Sophia all the way. But yeah, you understand why she does what she does, or why she's driven to that.
Exactly. Of course, she comes from a mafia type family and everything else. So it's not all sweetness.
It's not totally. And she was going to take over the family anyway.
Yeah.
So I think she grows up in a world of secrets and violence. But then, her father had chosen her in the beginning for a reason too.
Yeah. So you got this role, and you're so good in this show.
Thank you.
I mean, so good.
Thank you.
It's interesting. What is it? Nominated for 27 Emmys or something like that?
Yeah, 24.
24 Emmys.
Incredible.
Huge numbers, which this superhero genre does not usually get.
I know. Yeah. It's been so thrilling because, it's just thrilling anyway when you make something that you really love and it's well received, and where it's received with love, that's a very rare combo. Our crew was so incredible, and it has been so wonderful to see how many of them were recognized the other day as well. It's so cool.
Yeah, but in terms of program, all the actors and things, this is
across the board,
rare
very
territory for this genre in the comic book world.
Yeah.
All of that. Had you read the comic books ever with this character or anything?
No, when I first met with Lauren and Matt, I think before our meeting, I did like some preliminary research, and they had sort of sent a note saying, you know, we're gonna veer away from the comics or how she's portrayed in the comics slightly. So I did like just enough research, and then once we started, I stayed really far away because I know they were doing something very different.
Because if you read the comics, you could fall in love with those hats and things.
Oh, the headgear.
Yeah,
I know.
so-
I did ask about it. I was like, and can I have that? And they were like, no. They were taking it like a different direction. But I saw that sort of like crazy metal thing that she has and was excited.
You have such an amazing career that I have followed in various ways.
Thank you.
From seeing you on Broadway,
Yeah.
once, a fantastic performance.
Thank you.
My God. Nominated for a Tony Award, and you should sing more.
I'm dying to sing more.
Are you?
I really am. Yeah. I really, really, really miss it. And I'm like actively looking.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I miss it a lot.
Yeah. Because that was an amazing performance. How many
Thank you.
shows did you do of that? Like,
In the end, it was over 500, which
you
was
do 500 shows.
yeah. You're tired. Yeah, it really is like it's like a boot camp, that life.
Wow.
Yeah, I lived like a monk, and like I didn't see anyone for like a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of course, you love theater. I know
I
you
love it.
so much.
I've done a lot of it, and I really miss it. I haven't done a play in like I think like 7 years, and I'm like jonesing to get back up there. I've been seeing a lot lately. I mean, I try and see as much as I can, and I'm like having that feeling when I watch. I'm like completely transported, and also I'm like itching to
Yeah. Mike, I was
get up there.
I was in New York. I do these binges and just go to show
Yeah.
after show, and some of these performances.
Oh my God. I just saw Sunset Boulevard.
I was just going to say that.
I saw it for the second time the other night. I went with Lauren, actually, our showrunner, and I saw it 6 months ago, maybe, and I wanted to see it before Nicole left. And it's just that performance is so extraordinary. So extraordinary.
I was blown away.
Yeah, me
It
too.
just stops the show. And
The sound that comes out of her. Yeah, everyone. And it was also a couple of nights before her final performance.
oh, wow.
So whenever she did one of those numbers, I mean, I'm having chills thinking about it. Everyone like leapt to their feet and was screaming. Like it was so cool.
It was amazing.
Astonishing.
And it's right across the street from Audra McDonald doing
Yes,
Gypsy.
which I'm going to see when I get back in
Oh,
town.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see
I
that.
could see why it makes you want to go back considering your Broadway cred.
Yeah, well, I really love theater, and you see a lot of it. Like when it's good, there's nothing better,
No.
and when it's bad, it's tough.
Well,
what are you gonna do?
it's true of everything.
Sure of everything. Yeah.
But you've chosen well. So many of the things that you've been in. I mean, as Teresa, the first wife of
Oh yeah.
Leo DiCaprio's character in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
I mean, Marty Scorsese.
I'm pretty nuts.
What was that like?
Fabulous. He's wonderful. I don't know if you've ever interviewed him. Or
I have.
He's delightful. He's like sort of radiates joy, even though he makes
And he loves
very dark things. He loves movies. He loves actors. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. It was overwhelming because that was the first big set. I've been on a couple of like big sets, but that's crazy. And so it was great and overwhelming.
Yeah.
He's a joy, and yeah, he lives and breathes film, and it's incredible to be around.
And then you did this movie that's close to my heart because it was directed by my faux godson, a guy I've known since before he was making his little movies at
Max.
AFI, Max
Yeah,
Barbacoa.
Yeah.
Who,
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
we're
had no
best friends
idea.
with his parents
Yeah.
and up in
I love Max.
and Max and his brother. They're great, and I was so happy for the success of that movie.
Yeah.
I said, Max, what the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, Sundance,
Crazy.
it was crazy, but you and Andy Samberg were so good in that.
Thank
And
you.
it's not, I have to say, watching that movie that I've seen a few times, the time loop aspects of it cannot be easy to do as an actor and keep up with where you are trying to be.
It was certainly a challenge, but we were really like coordinated. I had a ton of notes. I think one of the things that was both challenging about that movie and maybe part of like what's special in its fabric is we shot it in 21 days.
I know.
So right, of course, so it felt sort of like being shot out of a cannon, which is what that movie is.
Right.
I remember at the time being in a real panic spiral about it because I was just like, oh my God, you got like 2 takes
Right.
a scene because we had to keep going. And we were shooting in the middle of the desert. And so we'd have to like shut down for like literal sandstorms and like, it was crazy hours, but I think that's also part of what's in there.
Yeah.
And part of what, like fuels those characters. And so certainly that was a challenge, but I also I really liked that. And we had such a ball. That was an incredible crew. Everyone was really passionate about that movie.
Yeah.
And we were all in the elements together. So many night shoots in the desert, which is actually like ice cold. I don't know if you've ever been in the desert at night. It's like brutally cold.
It's I was so happy for Max on that too, because
Yeah.
now he told me, I saw him not that long ago, and he's got this movie he wrote for Julia Roberts
Oh, I
that's
love
going through a pre-production.
Yeah.
And another one with Bill Murray that he's going to do.
Oh my God, great.
It's like,
Yeah. It was a very charmed group of people.
yeah, right. You
yeah.
all like sort of knew in a way.
And it was just like a lovely, that shoot was like challenging for everyone. I think everyone was like, how are we going to do this in 21 days? And I have so many memories of making that where it felt like, and I've been really blessed that this has happened to me numerous times in my career, is that you feel like you did when you were growing up and you were like playing make believe.
Oh yeah.
It's every now and then that feeling will come back, and it's always very, very thrilling, and it happened on that movie a couple of times too. But it was just a great group of people.
And when I say you sort of pick right because you've been in these kind of iconic things, I will talk about Black Mirror because that's nominated for a ton of
I know.
Emmys.
Yeah,
and
so
you're
exciting.
in probably the signature episode of that series. It was in 2017 or whenever you first did it, and then this year you repeated it.
Yeah.
It's up for a ton of Emmys too.
I know. It was
That's
so
California.
I know, it was so exciting. That the day the nominations came out, it really felt it was like an extra heart-bursting day because these two projects that I've loved so much were both recognized, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie is a once in a lifetime
For the
brain. Yes. And it was so fun and trippy to revisit that material. It's
and
very
that's such
cool.
a trippy kind of role to play.
Yeah.
I mean, there with your space things and everything else.
Yeah, we're there with our space things. You know what? It's also, but that's another one. I was talking with Charlie and our director Toby Haynes about it. We sort of at the end of the shoot got a dinner together, and I was saying that there were so many days on that shoot as well where I would be like in the middle of we shot a lot of the foreign planet stuff in different quarries so that it looks like Mars or something. And you're like at the bottom of a quarry. The second time it was in Wales. You're in the middle of nowhere in Wales, and you're holding like a giant pink space gun, and they're beaming you down, and they're going like, okay, you're beaming in, and it's so fun. It really feels like you're like a little kid again.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that, about how thrilling that is when, and the stakes of it are real, and you're giving it everything you have, but there just are these moments where you're like,
yeah, it's cool, and that great opportunity to revisit it after
8 years, which was very wild,
What?
but so great. That cast has always gotten on like a house on fire. I've been really lucky with casts. I've worked with like such great. I love actors. I love collaborating with each other, and I've been really lucky that like I've really worked with genuinely absurdly talented people, but also very like genuinely fun and good and kind people, and that group is one of those.
Well, you started in your career not bad on The Sopranos.
Yeah, not bad.
Now you're from Jersey.
I am.
So they're looking for somebody that's going to like fit in with that show. Yeah. And I'm so glad you didn't get typecast after that, because you could wind up in one mafia show out.
I know. No, I never. Yeah. No, I really, it was like a pretty long break.
Yeah, but that was early.
Early.
That experience, it must have been walking onto a show. Were you a fan of The Sopranos?
We didn't grow up with HBO, and so I'd never seen it.
Oh.
I'd only watched it for the first time a couple years ago, and then I realized it was the best show ever made. It's the best show ever made, turns out. And thank God I didn't know that, because I certainly... I like knew who the cast was. Like I was aware of like its zeitgeisty. I knew who James Gandolfini was. I met him in the makeup trailer. He was so sweet. Edie Falco was so sweet, and Steve Buscemi was directing. And I had grown up on his movies, so I think I was most starstruck and like sort of like a deer in headlights around him. And he couldn't have been sweeter. And it certainly was. I remember there's like the wedding sequence of my sister who's getting married. I think that was like 400 extras, and I'd never been in a crane shot, and I'd never seen that before. So that was overwhelming for sure.
What a way
But
to
very cool.
be thrown into
For sure.
this.
Yeah.
But good.
But great. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm glad you wound up liking the show.
Oh my God, it's perfect. It's a perfect show. I don't know if you knew. It's
I've
utterly
heard.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And when you talk about working with cast and things, you got to do 30 Rock, Queen Effect, and Fargo and all these shows. But 30 Rock must have been fun to do.
I still get so jazzed about 30 Rock because 30 Rock is like the series I return to for comfort. I've probably seen all of it 4 times through.
Wow.
Not my episode. I'm not like at home being like, Tina was such a huge hero of mine. And I was a avid fan of that show. I would watch it I think it aired like Thursday nights or something.
Yep.
And I would watch it every week religiously. And so I knew when I got that audition, what I was walking into. And I remember she was in my callback, and I was so starstruck, and she couldn't have been nicer. And that whole experience was I was really like out of my body the entire time because I knew that set so well from being like, look, imagine like you walk into this thing, so well, and getting to play a character like that, which, is still to this day what I'm drawn to. Like, give me a wig and give me a voice.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And to be working with someone like her who was and is such a hero of mine, it was incredible.
Oh, no, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, all this stuff is so different. And, even those people that didn't see you on Broadway in once, I mean, and
Thank
see
you.
what you went through on that.
I know, it's sad.
500.
Beautiful and sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But amazing.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
You won a Grammy Award.
I did. I won a Grammy.
Your first of the big 4 on your way to a knee job. I bet you never would have guessed it might have been a Grammy.
Sure didn't. No, and we didn't get to go either. We had to do a matinee that day.
Oh,
So I truly, it was kind of an out of body, I have one, which is so cool, but we never got the experience of being like, thanks. So but it's very, very cool.
so cool, from a Grammy to a Tony nomination and now to an Emmy nomination.
Yeah.
And how did that feel?
So lovely. It's so nice. And, I'm not the first to say that, that's not why you do it. And it's not, you have no control over
Of
these
course
things.
it's why
And
you do it.
it's for sure not. But it is it's like I said earlier, it's really lovely when you care about something and then other people greet it with the same level of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Because that's a rarity.
Your peers, the actors, the other actors.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I know.
Yeah,
And
blown
they know
away.
what you do.
Yeah.
Going through.
I mean, that's been one of my favorite parts of this year. We've been really lucky and have gotten nominated for a bunch of different things, and I've gotten to chat with so many of the people whose work I'm just in awe of. So that's been my favorite part.
Yeah, they do those round tables now.
They do the round tables. That was so much fun. Yeah. And then also, you're sat at these tables, lunch tables, and you've been, and you get to meet everybody.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's so cool.
It's so cool. Sophia Falcone, how much did you have to identify with her personally to make it work for you as an actor? When you go through all these roles, what do you look for to be able to play it?
I think understanding and compassion is for who you're playing is pretty key. And I think I really feel there just was something I just felt like I really understood where she was coming from, and I also really feel kindred to Lauren's writing. I feel sometimes I really love her brain, and I also really understand it. And so I just and I knew what feast this role would be, because she gets to go through so much. But I just kind of always had, I certainly prepped a lot, and I am very grateful that I had a couple of months with the scripts and with Lauren and our various directors. So I really could get in there. You don't always have that luxury, but yeah, I just
I noticed on some of them Helen Shaver.
who I love.
I'm going Helen Shaver. she's an actress.
Mhm.
You know, I've seen her
Yeah.
in movies going way back,
Yeah.
Neighbors, all this.
Helen is astonishing. She's astonishing.
Good to have an actor.
It's incredible, incredible, and it's rare, and it's incredible because she, you know, like not only is she such a brilliant director, you know, like that the fourth episode was her first. She did 4 and 5, and
Wow.
we shot that episode in the same amount of days that you would shoot any of the others, but it takes place over the course of 15 years.
No.
And so it's like such an immense challenge. And you have all of the Arkham stuff. And I think not only is she such an astonishing director, but she gets what you have to do. And so I felt like I had just this incredible partner in all this, you know, and she really understands like when you need space, when you need help, when you need like we felt like dance partners or something. I can't say good enough.
You
Good things.
You started out that way with Sopranos with Steve Buscemi.
It's true, and I think
So
you know,
spoiled.
I got spoiled, and I think one of the reasons, you know, he was so incredibly kind to me, and I think that it's because actor directors understand sometimes that like you show up to these massive things and you don't know anyone,
Yeah.
and it feels very much like your first day of school, and you're terrified and you don't know where anything is. I'd never seen like craft services. I ate prop shrimp by accident because I thought
Oh
it
my
was.
God, you're gonna get in trouble doing that.
I know, but like because I'd never been on a set, and people were like, "You'll see the big food of table. That's where you get snacks." And I walked like right up to like the props because I was like, "Oh, a big food of big table of food, whatever." And so I think anyone who understands like that sort of terror is so good at disarming you and just making you feel like, you know, Steve Buscemi made me feel like I was like a big part of it, and I have like 2 lines in it, you know. And Helen, I watched her, you know, one of her, I mean, every day with her was a dream, but like I watched her empower all the women that are in Arkham. You know, like she took time with each and every one, and it felt so collaborative, and it felt so like grounded and real because everyone felt empowered by her to come up with their own character, which is so helpful when that's what I mean. Like all of our background artists, like she sat with us in a big group and was like, I want you to come up with what your story is. And it just like was this extra juice and life in those scenes that are what make them so impactful. So yeah,
Arkham
brutal. It's the Arkham stuff.
It's a violent show.
I know.
When you take that woman
I know.
and just start banging her head down there, and I'm going like,
Yeah.
she ain't gonna stop. She's just gonna keep going and going, and then they go on the shot of her.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
rough stuff.
It's rough stuff. Yeah, it's really rough stuff. Yeah, I know.
What do you have to train for on that to do a fight scene? To do stuff like
We had an incredible stunt coordinator, and I think we had like 2 rehearsals, maybe. You don't get a ton of them. But you know, we really took our time that day as much as we were able to, and everyone in that, I mean, really actually across the board, this was another example of like every single person on that show, whether they were in all 8 episodes or had 2 lines, were so in it and were so like jazzed and wonderful and committed. And I think that you know, that the Arkham sequences were no different. And we all felt like really in lockstep with each other. Yeah.
So cool. Well, it really shows.
Yeah.
And
I know those scenes are brutal.
It's so exciting to see where you're going to go next with all of the kinds of things you've done.
Yeah,
Where you're going. I know where you're going next. You just told me you're doing a horror film
Yeah.
called Buddy.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and you won't tell me what happened. I get it.
know. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's another thing, you know.
Yeah,
Horror.
totally. I know. And I'm just, I'm trying to dip my toes in as many different types of things as I can.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, best of luck going forward, and at the Emmys, nominated for Outstanding Leading Actress in a Limited Series Anthology or Television Movie. That's a long
I know it's a long
category.
Yeah, it doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Best of luck there and everywhere else. This is Cristin Milioti. Thank you.
Thank you so much.